Hey, Billy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Billy Scott with Grow Marketing. We help home service businesses generate more revenue with digital marketing. So it's been a fun journey. It's been about 6 years, but it's been ups and downs, but enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, any business. I was just talking to uh, Ian from Agency Hackers a little while ago. Total competitor, and we were just talking back, and we were like, yeah, some days we want to shut it all down. Some days we love it. Like, and you look at our business, you'd be like, that's the perfect business. I'm like, well, yeah, like, but the grass is always greener on the other side, right? Like, it's just like.
It's so true. Some days I'm so excited, and then other days, ask my wife. I'll be telling her like, "All right, let's on to something else." But that's just business. But
Yeah,
overall, I mean, love it though.
yeah, exactly. Accidental agency owner. How'd you start?
Kind of. So I was a door-to-door salesman for about seven
What'd
years.
you sell?
Pickup and delivery dry cleaning.
Oh,
Uh, Interesting thing to have to sell.
yeah.
And kind of got into that just because I needed a job and went and met the owner. And he said, "You got the job. I can tell you're a salesperson." I'd never sold a thing in my life though. And so he just kind of took a flyer. They were starting this pickup and delivery service, so I had pretty much no training. He just said, "Go knock on doors, figure it out, get us customers." Um,
What was your
Oddly,
pitch?
so pitch honestly kind of evolved through the years, but it was just like,
You did
"My
it for
name's Billy."
years.
I did. We did it. I did it for about 7 years. Uh,
Wow.
I truly enjoyed it. I grew up to about 1,500 customers. They were doing about 25 grand a week in dry cleaning with that. So I liked it.
So, what was
But
the pitch that worked?
oh, the pitch. So I always kind of kept it fluid because every person is like different. But the
Uh-huh.
overall like framework was just that, my name, I'm with Dutch Boy Dry Cleaners. We provide a free pickup and delivery dry cleaning service in your neighborhood. We're already passing your house. Just wanted to extend the invitation to you as well. And then at that point, I would just ask if they've ever used pickup and delivery before. And then, regardless of what they said, I just kind of was able to continue on. Um,
Yeah.
and if someone was a dry cleaner, they were pretty interested usually.
Yeah.
If they're not, you're never going to convert someone into
No.
becoming a dry cleaner.
Yeah. I
Um,
would never be your client because this is my outfit, a t-shirt.
right. Same. I don't dry clean either. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we enjoyed it. And I mean, made decent money for working relatively part time because it was just knocking on doors. But we grew it to the point where the owner at the time, he realized he would put me in an area and we'd grow that route. And then up to about 200 customers, put me in another area, grow it to about 200 customers. And he's like, "Man, if we go to a new area, I'm going to have to buy another van, get another employee." And he was like, "I'm happy with where we're at." So that's where I started to see the writing on the wall of, I enjoy this job, but my whole job is growth.
You were probably
So
making more than him too.
maybe, I don't know. I was liking it though. Decent
Yeah.
commission. So I started to see the writing on the wall. So I started, YouTube University online classes because I thought, okay, I have this skill set. What can I do with it? Because at door to door sales, I mean, no, I don't know about you, but
I've done
typically
it.
I don't want you. Yeah,
Yeah. I would sell telecom or T1 lines.
that sounds a lot harder to sell than dry
And so
cleaning.
we had to go in businesses, and I'd always have a game in my mind because I would always go with someone, but just to keep it fun because we were always getting thrown out of buildings. So I'm like, who could be the first to be thrown out of a building, or who is the last to be thrown out of the building, right? And we would expect the no, but like when I started getting good at it, um, I figured out like so with T1s, the last mile is owned by the same, but by the same company, or I can't remember. This is 30 years ago or whatever. Um, and so I would always go in and saying, "Hey, I need to speak to the CTO. We changed the fiber optic loop in the area and just needed to let you know."
Smart.
And it would go over the head. They'd hear like blah 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 blah, and they'd just bring out the CTO,
That's
and then the
awesome.
CTO would come, and I'd say, hey, I'm Jason. We changed the fiber loop in the area. Just want to let you know that you have other options to use. You're not stuck with this one T1 line. This could save you some money. They're like, man, that was creative about how you did that.
Love it
To
because you're
get,
there to help. So they don't realize that it's a sale. That's
Mhm.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Or I heard a pitch from someone that they do cold calls on the phone. And they go, like, if I was calling you, I would be like, hey, Billy, I got good news and bad news. Which one do you want? And then you
Bad
go,
news.
bad news. Bad news is this is a sales call. Good news is I can help you out with your website.
I like that. That's funny. I like that.
And if you call a salesperson that used to do it, you'd be like, hell yeah, man, pitch me. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
That's so It's so funny. It is so true though. Anytime I get a sales call, I'll usually be like, look, I respect the grind. Like, I'll listen, like that's maybe it's just kind of having that background.
Yeah. Well, we have a mastermind member, Travis. And so he grew up, he's grown up in sales. He's grown his agency to like 30 million in revenue and has a big sales team. And, they have an office and they're like, no one ever walks in our office to sell us something. And like when they ever do, like once a year, him and his partners will come. They'll be like, hey, I'll bring everybody in, because they're so excited that people are still doing it.
Yeah. Which you don't expect, normally. Yeah, just get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, not at all. Right.
I wouldn't trade that training for anything. Because especially, with businesses door to door, people typically don't want a sales guy, especially at a house. Like, you knock on someone's door, they typically answer like, what do you want? And so like getting them to like you, trust you, convince them to buy what you're selling, and then also have them trust you enough to give them your credit card. It's like,
you were taking their credit card?
Oh yeah, right then and there. I could not leave unless I got their credit card.
Like on a piece of paper?
When I started, yeah. And then finally we transitioned over to a tablet. But it was just that like, carbon copy paper.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like, here's your copy, and then I'll take this piece of paper with me now with all your info on it.
Yeah. How do you get the SSL certificate on that?
Old school.
Wow.
But yeah, so I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Yeah, my first when I first started selling for my agency, I was just going through the yellow pages.
Nice.
I'd be like, "Hey, Billy, like I wish I knew that sales script I told you." I'd be like, "Well, good news or bad news?"
Bad news. Yeah.
But I'd be like, "Hey, Billy, I noticed you didn't have a website for your plumbing service. I do websites. Let me know if I can help." But people are like, "What's a website?"
Oh, so yeah, okay, yeah. A while ago with that. Yeah, I was gonna ask how effective it was, just going through it and calling like that.
I grew that business pretty big.
Well, yeah. At the very beginning, I know it's always a grind, so that's cool.
But yeah, I was selling when I started going through the yellow pages, I was selling like $1,000 websites. And then then obviously we kind of added a couple of zeros to that. So
yeah, that's incredible.
But not through the yellow pages on that one. So don't go try to find the yellow pages. Use the yellow pages to sit on, to be higher up in your seat. That's about it.
Yeah.
Or prop the door
exactly.
open.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny. Yeah. Sorry. But the door-to-door sales, I think that was pretty cool, because what I ended up doing was, I think I didn't really want to get into digital marketing, but I felt like it was a natural fit, because I realized kind of web design and the door-to-door sales kind of go hand in hand, just because you got a few seconds to get them to like you and trust you and stay on your website. Kind of like the psychology of it as well. I know that like overly simplifies it, but I was like, hey, this might go kind of well together. So that felt like it was a good fit. Started taking online classes, and then was like, all right, let's jump in, give it a shot. And then, of course, imposter syndrome's always, that's fun to try to get through. But it's been a fun ride with that.
Yeah. Well, I think the imposter thing it never goes away. Sometimes
Well, that's good to know.
Right? Like sometimes I'll jump on stage. I'm like, why am I on the stage? Like, I should not be here. And then sometimes I jump on the stage. I'm like, I fucking own this stage. But it never goes away. It's always in the back of your head, or, sometimes I'll jump on another person's show and be like, I probably like, why am I here? And then by the end, I'm like, oh no, like I understand it. But yeah, for everyone, we all have imposter syndrome. Because I think not everybody sees everything we see. We think everybody knows what we know.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Like, and someone explained it to me a couple years ago. Like, Dave Ramsey. Dave
Oh yeah.
Ramsey's.
Yeah.
He's had a
That's
show for
amazing.
how long? All he talks about is the same damn thing
It's so true.
the whole time. We
So
know
true.
the gist of his show, and he has callers all the time. Hey, Dave, I make X, but I spend X, and I have the. And he's like, "What's the?" It's
Yeah.
the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. That's so true. Well, we still listen.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, what's he gonna say? What's he
Yeah.
gonna say? I
Yeah.
know what he's fucking gonna say.
Still want to hear it though.
Yeah, I hope people don't think about this show. At our event at Elevate, we had a couple months ago. I had a longtime member, Jack. He's been in the mastermind for 7 years, 8 years now. And at the very end, he had a slide. He goes, "All right, if you want to grow your agency, just do these things." And it said, like, this is what Jason's told me, and this is what he always tells everybody: raise your prices, start a podcast. Just started. Listen, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, am I predictable? I'm turning into the Dave.
No, but it's needed because, like I said, I've been following you since we started, and there's still things that I need to implement, and here we are years later. So it's good.
Yeah,
It
good, awesome.
sets in.
With the agency, so you kind of told us, how you started. How many years did you do it kind of by yourself?
Probably like the
What
first.
changed? What changed in your mind? They'd be like, man, I need to bring on a team.
Yeah, it was probably like the first 3 years. I mean, it was just me, and it was okay. I used to pride myself on like low overhead. Like we only have $500 of overhead,
You
right? Like
sold
that
on
was like,
price. Oh
well, that was
no.
like in my head, like that's all we have, so it's good. And that was obviously that's not correct.
Mhm.
But then my wife and I, we really value time, right, over money. And I was probably working 40 hours a week, and I realized I was maxed out. Like it was, I told her, I was like, this is literally the most amount of money we're probably ever going to make because I have to work like 40 hours just to keep up with what we have. So I can't take on new clients. Like I felt very stuck. So then it was like, okay, what can we do? So then that's when I realized, okay, having low overhead isn't necessarily a bragging, right? No, we got to be able to scale now. So at that point, then started bringing team members on and expanding. And I'm still learning through that, but it has been nice because we've been able to grow the business obviously so much more than it was just me. And I actually have gotten some more time back, which is, I mean, that's what the goal of expanding was.
Did you go through, or maybe you're still going through it, where you bring on people and you actually have to work more?
Oh yeah. Yep, for sure. It seems like when it's like the initial hire is exciting and then the next couple months is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're currently going through, like you say too, we're trying to get all our systems, and like I'm going through and trying to build those out better because our next phase is I'm trying to find another one of me. Does that make sense? Kind of like take me out a little bit more so I can work on the business instead of working in it so much, but I need all those processes done.
Well,
Um,
well, let me tell you this: you don't want to find
please.
another. You don't want to find another version of you,
Okay.
because both of you will just chat about the cool ideas and never execute. You're forced to execute now because it was you for a long time, or someone else is not going to do it. But at the end of the day, we're creative, we're innovative, we're visionaries. So we come up with all these different stupid ideas. Some work, some most don't. And you need people to kind of throttle you back. So what you really need to look at is someone that, what I realized when I was going from a manager to an architect, right? So like operator, you're doing it all yourself. Manager, you got a team.
Right.
Architect, you're designing systems so people can build others, make decisions without you is really, where you're going. I had to delegate outcomes rather than delegate tasks.
Mm.
And I needed to make sure that the people I hired could manage themselves, that I didn't have to manage them because I'm a shitty ass manager, right? I don't have the patience.
Yeah.
I
No,
just
I
be
mean
like,
that
let's just
that
go
makes
do it,
sense.
right?
That makes sense. I think I'm definitely, I've your framework and everything like that. Yeah, I'm definitely at the manager level right now. I'm trying to get to that architect phase. That's my next goal. So, okay,
Think about
that
it
makes
this
a
way.
lot of sense.
So, like, I presume you're doing the sales in the agency.
Right, and that's the next phase too, is trying to get out of that.
So, think about to do this. Your old boss when you're doing the selling the dry cleaning, which is amazing. I love that. I love that people go through that. Like I hope my sons go through some type of that type of sales, but because it does teach you rejection, which is
Oh,
the
yeah,
best
for
thing.
sure.
But think about it, he didn't have a system. He was just like anybody that does dry cleaning. He didn't have a process.
That's
And
true.
so the one thing I want you to start thinking about now is every time you have a sales call, whichever phase, like you probably have a discovery call, maybe you have a foot in the door, or you, the next level, or whatever it is.
Right.
Record all of those and put that into a folder for those recordings. Then what you could actually do is put that in AI later on. Say, what's the framework that I follow to do this?
Mm,
And then you can say, rather than, hey, go sell me some shit, right? Go sell these home builders or whatever. Um, you're going to say, hey, you're going to shadow me on this discovery call. And then when you're good enough and we role play enough, I'll shadow you. And
that's
then
cool.
when you're good enough to do it by yourself, you're going to send me your best recording and your worst recording, and then we'll do a debrief. And then you just move them up a level, right? So you start building like those are the systems when you're an architect that you have to start doing in order to get your time back. And the same thing goes with any other things when you're chatting with a client, right? Or when your team comes to you to fix a problem. Like honestly, let's ask when a team comes to you with a problem, what do you do? Do you fix it right for them or do you coach them through it?
In the past, I would just fix it to try to save time. Right? It was like, all right, I'll just handle it real quick. But yeah, we've been kind of trying to
Good.
show them how to do it. And if it is like step by step, we've been using past few months. We've been using Scribe, which like
Okay.
records your screen, and that way we have like some like workflows to at least they can like go back and look. But um, I'm trying to get better at having them figure out how to do it to not even have to come
Yeah.
ask in the first place.
And look, sometimes my team comes to me with a problem. I'll fix it. I'll forget my own damn framework. Um, so like it's never perfect,
Yeah,
but you're right. Like you just need to think about how am I the biggest bottleneck or where am I the biggest bottleneck in the agency and just solve that one first. Start developing a system for that. And when you, and the two things that I told you, like make sure when you tell them to do something, it's an outcome based rather than task. And just make sure that they have the mentality where they can manage themselves. So you don't have to be like, what'd you do today? Or if they come to you, hey, Billy, I'm done. What do I do now? I'm like, oh my God. Like I'd
yeah,
be like,
that's
are you serious? Like,
right. Right. There's always so many things to do. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That kind of helps to. We haven't really even started thinking about personnel, but I like that to not because I always have kind of always said like I just got to find another one to me, but I can see how that would be
uh,
not good.
and look, the roles too that we play in the agency is not dependent on revenue either. Like you could be a $10 million agency. Well, it'd be hard to get to 10 million if you're kind of holding yourself back, but I've seen it where he has a title or he or she has the title of CEO, but they're still operating as a manager.
Wow,
So
that's
like revenue has nothing to do. People think I'll get over a million and the skies part. the rainbows come out, gold,
That's not what happens.
no, no. Like if people think that that happens when you sell a company, or
Right.
if your financial planner says, "Hey, you never have to work a day in your life again," you're like, "There's no ticker parade." It's just like, "All right, right, like cool, good,
Now
like
what?
let's keep going."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. When I talked to Darby, he had mentioned on like he's like, you got to get your sales process down. Have like you got to get your steps. So I've been working on that. As soon as he told me that, I was like, okay, that's a good idea, because I think at times I just talk on a sales call, whatever it is, right? Because I know the business and I have a sales background. It's not, but he's like, you got to systematize it, you know. So I was like, I don't know why that never even clicked. So hearing him say it in the new, I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely got to get that done quick.
Yeah, last week on the podcast, I was telling someone, because majority of agencies do their own sales, or the founder is doing the sales, and I told them, I said, why are you the best salesperson? And they could, well, I don't know, blah 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 blah. I'm like, you're the best salesperson because you have all the stories. So all
Right.
you have to do is think of your methodology, think of all the problems that you solve in each of the phases of that methodology. So, like ours is a track, convert, scale, so you can have the opportunity to sell. Put those stories in, then just share it with your salesperson, one story at a time. Then
That's so true.
they'll build up their own stories, right?
Yeah,
Like
almost like
so,
creating like a library, a database of
and
stories.
then you can feed that into AI and all that kind of stuff, right? To
Yeah.
help you and just assist you. But like that's what you should be like thriving for, to be that architect, and then that might be the highest role that you want to go, right? Like some people don't want to go bigger, like to a CEO or owner. Like when I sold my agency, I wasn't the owner, I was the CEO. I played that role, but I couldn't step, like I was still steering the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't really become an owner until a couple businesses later. Like even in this business, Agency Mastery, this is designed where I'm more of the architect
That's
because I
interesting.
like it.
Yeah.
Like I
So
like
you have
building shit now.
yeah. So you have no desire to try to jump to CEO because you're happy
Not
being
right
there.
now. I
Yeah.
mean, I play both roles, but I always say that if you're playing any role in the lower levels, you're at that role,
That's where you are. Yeah. Right.
right? Like, yeah, your title can be. That's why I don't have the title CEO, because I don't want to be the hypocrite. I just have
Yeah.
founder,
Smart. Smart.
right? Oh,
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So that's good to know. I'll definitely, I'm taking all those tips too, and like create like the little library of stories, because it's like I think the stories is what makes. I don't know about you, but like having an agency, I think having those case stories and the different studies, like that's what makes it all worth it. You know, like that's the part that's exciting and makes people trust you
yeah.
too. And like you said, I just easily recall it, but yeah, having a library of that would be really nice.
Well, yeah, and all you're trying to do is like when someone says I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z, be like, hey man, you remind me of Billy, right?
Right.
He's at this manager level, and all he had to do is put this system in place. Now he's working 20 hours a week or whatever it is. So,
Right.
if I knew that was important to that person,
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
if it related, right? Like, a lot of times now, because when I ran the first agency, I always believed you have less clients but make more off them. But only
Mm.
until after I started, working with all these agencies all over the world, I started realizing, well, there's another part of an agency, like kind of that factory agency, where you can have thousands of clients that you barely charge anything, and you still can be profitable and you still can get to a point to sell. But I never kind of comprehend that. Right. So when I see like a factory agency come to us, I'll be like, oh, you remind me of David. I used to beat him up all the time for barely charging anything. And then he showed me when he sold for millions and millions of dollars and now travels around the world. Right. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, those people, we just connect with other people's stories.
that's it.
So yeah, yeah, because
We're,
everything's
we're
hypothetical unless you realize someone else it worked for someone else. Then we're like, oh, okay, well, it might
yeah.
work for me then.
So, well, awesome. Well,
Yeah,
Billy, thanks so much for coming on the show and sharing and being open and
my
honest
pleasure.
with all of us. And for everyone listening, I have a book that came out called Operator to Owner. You can check it out at operatorownerevolution.com. It goes through the 5 identity shifts that we all need to go through in order to evolve and in order to not hold the agency, back. Because if you're at a role at a lower level, that agency is going to be crippled because of you. And you just have to realize the shifts and what you need to do and what are the right strategies at the right level. So make sure you go to operator to ownerevolution.com. I wish I could get a shorter URL, but oh well. Or you can go to swank.com if you can't spell that and just click on book. And until next time, have a swank day.